Very good morning, children, and welcome to session 1, a lesson biodiversity and its conservation. Right? So here, in this lesson, we can find one character, that is Rani. Okay, the Rani and her friend, after the completion of nature prayer. Nature prayer means, in your textbook, back of the textbook, you can find the nature prayer. And actually, being as a science student, so all the students must learn this nature prayer, and this nature prayer should be recited on every Fridays during the prayer, right? So that's a rule actually. And after the completion of this prayer, so this Rani and her friends, they went to see this bulletin board, like a notice board, and there they found one newspaper cutting with World Biodiversity Meet. So this cutting was related to this World Biodiversity Meet 2012 Hyderabad, right? Okay, and here we can find that news cutting, and according to that news cutting, what does that means? See, 2 AP species on the world's 100 most threatened list. Here, what is meant by threatened list means which are going to disappear. If we're not taking care about these animal species or plant species, then they are going to disappear permanently from the face of our planet, right? So in that way, so 100 species were found, and out of that 100, so 2 are from AP. So actually, so from our country, how many were in threatened list means 4. Okay, from our country, 4 species are in that list, and out of that 4, 2 are from AP. Can I say that is really disaster or not? Yes, that is very unlucky, and 2 are from AP. Correct? So it's a very, very disastrous matter, right? Okay, and actually this list was prepared by 2 organizations. Okay, what do they means? See, here you can find that. That's International Union for the Conservation of Nature. International Union for Conservation of Nature, which can be simply called as IUCN. And what's the second one means? That's Zoological Society of London. And this can be considered as ZSL. Okay, and these 2 are very, very important for the short answers and also for the objective part. Okay, you may get the questions. Expand IUCN, ZSL, like this, right? So these 2 organizations prepared the list of threatened list. Okay, and in that list, 2 species are from where? From our state, that is AP. Now let's see what are those 2 species means. First one, that is Guti tarantula. What is this? Means actually it is a spider. And where we can see this spider means in the Nandyal and the Gidalur areas. And this Nandyal belongs to Kurnool, and Gidalur belongs to this Prakasam district, right? So in these 2 areas, actually these 2 areas are present in a very deep forest. Okay, and so in that forest we can find this spider, that is a Guti tarantula. And what is the second one means? That is a Great Indian bustard. And what is this means? It is a bird. And where you can find this means, that is at Pollanadu Bird Sanctuary. Here, what is meant by sanctuary? Sanctuary means protected area for the birds. Protected area for the birds can be called as a sanctuary. And at Nellore also we can find a very, very famous bird sanctuary. We call that as a Nelapattu Bird Sanctuary. And if you go to this Nellore, okay, if you have any free time, you just go to that place and observe that Nelapattu Bird Sanctuary, right? And it's a you feel very thrilling by observing different varieties of birds in that, right? So what is this sanctuary? What is meant by sanctuary? Means a protected area for the birds. Can be only birds, right? Not for any other animals. Got it? Okay, and that area can be called as a sanctuary, and where it is located means Kurnool, at Kurnool district, right? So these two are the species which are from our state. Got it, children? So here we can say this IUCN judicial. These two are very important. And what are those two species means? One is a spider, Guti tarangula, and another one, that's a bird, Great Indian Bustard, right? Yeah. Here you can find a Guti tarangula. See here, this is a picture. Guti tarangula, it's a spider, and this can be technically called. Technically means scientific name. You know what is the scientific name for human beings? Yeah, there is a Homo sapiens. Okay, in this way, this Guti tarangula is technically called as a Poecilotheria metallica. Poecilotheria metallica, and even these are very important for this opposite part, right? And what is the other one? Say this one. That is a Great Indian Bustard. Great Indian Bustard. It is a bird, right? So these two are under this threatened list. Now let's come to our topic. So actually, this is a Guti tarangula, which is technically called as a Poecilotheria metallica. Okay, and why this number is reducing mostly means, see, actually this bird is available on online shopping. You know, nowadays we have many online services like Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, like this. So in this way, in the US and European states, in the United States and European markets, so this spider is available on online services. So most of the people, they purchase and they use that spider for different purposes, right? Okay, and what is the main reason why this species is reducing in its number? Means these are the reasons. What are they? What is the first one? Habitat loss. Habitat. What is meant by habitat? Already we call this. The natural living place of any species can be called as a habitat. So actually where they're living in a forest. So you know, nowadays we are destroying this forest for various reasons, right? Okay, so when forests are destroyed, then automatically these species also they lost their shelter. Okay, so that's the first reason, habitat loss. And what's the next one? That is deforestation. You know, for different reasons, to increase this agricultural land and for the construction purpose and for the construction of reservoirs, dams, and all these things, we're cutting down this forest. Okay, so and firewood collection. You know, even today we can find that many of the people are cutting down this forest in order to get this firewood. Okay, so these are the three reasons for the spiders to be dwindling. What is meant by dwindling? That means reducing in number. Got it? So this is very important for the 1 mark or 2 mark questions. Mention the various reasons for the spiders to be decreasing in number. So what are they? There is a habitat loss, deforestation, and a firewood collection, right? And how we can avoid this? So how we can prevent this condition means by following these conditions. What are they? What is the first one? Habitat protection. Habitat protection. That means where they're living, those areas must be protected by these governments. And then what's the next one? Awareness at the community level. We must bring awareness in the public. So wherever this species is living in that area, we must bring awareness in the public. So this is its number is decreasing and we must protect that, and it is not good. In this way we must bring awareness. Okay, so when the public they come to know the fact, then automatically we can control this disaster. Okay, and what's the next one? Inclusion in the National Wildlife Protection Act. That means That means whenever we bring some rules and regulations in the National Wildlife Protection Act, so against this species, then automatically we can do that. And even national and international trade legislation. Okay, that means so between the nations, and among all the nations, there should be some conditions. Okay, that means in order to control the destruction of this bird like this. So by taking all these precautions, or by following all these measures, we can control the disappearance of this species. Okay, and when we come to this next one, there is a great Indian bustard. So actually, what is its number? Means its number in our country is ranging from 52 to 49, and it is located in different parts of the country, like states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, then Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh. So in all these states, we can find there's a great Indian bustard. And what is the main reason for the disappearance of this animal, or decreasing in its number? Means there is a conversion, or we can say diversion of a forest land into agriculture. Nowadays the people, in order to get more and more food, what they're doing, they're cutting down this forest, and they convert that area, and they use that area for agriculture purpose. Right? So just because of this reason, the number of this great Indian bustard is getting less and less. Correct? Okay, and these are the reasons and measures we need to follow to control the disappearance of these two species. Right? Okay, now, so already I shown you there's pictures of these two animals. Right? So let's see this. There is a Guti triangula, which can be technically called as a Poecilotheria metallica. And what's the next one? There is a great Indian bustard. Now come to the next one. So Rani's grandfather, so after the completion of this school, that means they assemble at the dining table, and while they're taking their lunch, see, Rani's grandfather asked, so what activities are going on in your school like this? Then at the time, she told that, in today's lesson, our teacher told that two species from our country, from our state, are under this threatened list. Okay, then at the time, her mother also told, you are saying about only those two, but what about the sparrows, crows, mynas, and the quails? Actually, in our childhood days, the number of these birds were very, very high. But now, the number is getting very, very less. Okay, and what about these birds? Are they not under threatened list like this? And at the same time, the grandfather also told, in our village, there was a big banyan tree. Even in nowadays also, we can find in some villages, in the middle, we can find a very huge banyan tree, and that, so these old people and they just mingle, they assemble there, and they go on chit chat with each other, right? Okay, and here, whenever you carefully observe that banyan tree, the tree is only one, but that tree is giving shelter for different types of birds, animals, and even insects. So it acts as a great habitat, right? But even that kind of plants were cut down in spite of a protest. Protest means even though many people don't like to cut down that kind of plants, the governments and also these other people are cutting down that kind of trees. Okay, so that automatically all these animals, different types of animals, birds and insects, they lose their shelter. Right? And at the same time, her father also joined, and he also raised one point. In our childhood days, these tribals, these tribal people were coming to our home, and they were selling these wild products. Wild products means especially this honey, and the next say this soap nuts. Soap nuts means, nowadays all people are using this shampoos for their head bath. But what about in olden days? In olden days, we were using this soap nuts. In Telugu we call them as a kunkudu kayalu, right? Even of course nowadays also some people are using this. Okay, so in this way, these wild products were sold by these tribals in old days, but nowadays we cannot find those people that coming to our homes and selling these wild products. So in this way, all these family members, they raised their own opinions about this biodiversity, right? Okay. Now here in this picture you can find, see, what are these? These are the different types of birds which are disappearing now. What is this? This is myna, and what is this? Crow, and sparrow. Sparrow. In 10th class we are going to deal with this bird. In China, this bird was very brutally punished. Okay, so then what's the next one? That is a quail, right? So these are the birds now, they're getting very less in their number. Actually crow, nowadays we use this crow for one activity. What is that? Some people, that means whenever someone die in their home, in that activities, they conduct one thing. That means after 9 days and 11 days, they have something. That means they prepare different types of food items which that person like very much, and what they do, that means they put that food items in one open area, and they are waiting for the crows. Okay, we believe that means the soul of that dead person, it comes in the form of that crow, and it eats that food. Then his soul or her soul will rest in peace. In such a way we feel, and for that purpose we use this crow. But in some parts of our country, even it became a business. That means some people are growing these crows, and they are earning more and more money, especially for this kind of functions. Okay, right. Okay, and here we can find one more thing. See, what is this? This is a big banana tree, and here we can find that. See, in this picture, under this tree, all the people, they assemble, and they're discussing about their problems. And here, can you see these people? Who are these people? Can you say these are the heroines and all the things? No. So these are the tribals. What is meant by tribal? Tribal people means where they live. They live in the forest. Okay. The people who lives in the forest, they are said to be tribals, right? And here in this picture you can find that. See, that means with the great difficulty, see these tribals, what they're doing? That means they're producing this smoke. For what purpose? That means they expose this honeycombs with this smoke, and so that all this bees, they go away, and then they collect the bees. That means even sometimes they sacrifice their lives also in collecting this honey, right? So in this way, these tribals. Who are these tribals? Means that these tribals are also the people who completely depend upon forest, and at the same time they are protecting their forest. They consider the forest as their mother, as their goddess. Okay, right? So what is meant by biodiversity actually means, whenever we take this 30 or 40 years back, we can find a variety of birds like a crane, sparrow, and the next parrots like this. But what about nowadays? Can you find them in many number? No, we can find these these animals nowadays also, but in very less number. Very occasionally we can find this. Okay, if you want to see them, we must go to villages, but in the towns and cities we cannot find these birds. Okay, and whenever you go to any garden, You go to any garden, what do you expect? Say for example, you are going to a flower garden. How do you feel? That means what do you expect? You expect that. So in that garden we can find many colored flowers, and with that flowers I can take selfies and I can enjoy like this. Okay, so that means you think that the garden is a very beautiful. Is a very beautiful with the different types of colored flowers. But whenever you go there, you think that the entire field or entire garden is having only one kind of flower, that is only one color. Then can you feel happy? No, you get disappointed. Why? Means you expect different varieties of colors, but here we can find only one, right? So here this Rani did one thing. Here what should it means? That means here you can find. So what is this means? This is the sketch over the paper. She draw her home. Here this is her home, and even she draw her surroundings also. That means like road, and then these are other houses, and then these are some other industries like this. So in this way she draw her surroundings also, and here we can find some dots. Have you seen them? What are those dots means? Those are living organisms. So whatever the living organisms she found in her surroundings, she included all these living organisms in this picture with some symbols. What are those symbols? Here we can find some are in a square shape, some are a square shape, some are a round. Have you seen? So by using this squares and circles, she that means she symbolized these living organisms with the color code. So here plants. For the plants, she used a dark green color, and for small plants, she used a light green color. Okay, and in this way, for different types of living organisms, she used different symbols. For example, animals, she used a red color, and then for humans, dark blue, and for insects, here in this picture, you can find those dots, see, with the different colors. And for birds, pink color, and then for fish, blue color, like this. So in this way, whenever she draw this picture, what happens? Then automatically we get an idea. That means what are the different types of living organisms present in that area, and that to be in how many number they are present. So in this way, so the area is very small, okay, but in that small area we get a complete clarity. That means how many types of living organisms are present in that area. Got it? So in this way, what you have to do means you have to do one activity. So for this activity you can select grasses. Actually what are these? These are also to be grasses. You can select any two grass plants. You can select any two, and what you have to do means, so between these two grass plants you need to find out some differences and some similarities. Differences and similarities. Differences means, for example, when you take these two, this one and this one, we can find the size is different, okay, and even color is also different. Okay, in this way we can find some differences, and in the same way we need to find out similarities also. Similarities means same characters. So when you observe these grass plants in such a way, you will get to many differences and also similarities. And in the same way you need to observe these two. Say for example, take these two. What are these two? These two are said to be hens. These two are said to be hens. They belong to the same species. But even then, can you find any differences or not? Yes. If you take the color of a feather, and the next size of the beaks. Okay, then what about this fingers, nails, like this? In this way, by observing all the characters, we need to find out some similarities, and in the same way and differences. Okay, and for example, take one more example. These two are the small kids. Okay, of course, both are humans. But can I say that these two are completely same? No, we can find some differences. Okay, regarding their color, and then say for example take their hair. So here we can find a very plain hair, and here we can find a curly hair. Okay, and here the color is brown, and here color is black. Right? Like this, you can find many things. And even if you carefully observe one more. So in this, for example, now it is IPL season, and in this IPL we can find many teams like Mumbai Indians, and the next Rajasthan Royals, and the next Kolkata Knight Riders, like this. So when you take any team, can you say that all the team members belong to the same country? No, they belong to different countries. Okay, and even if you carefully observe these team members, you can find many differences. They all belong to the same team, but we can find many differences, and of course at the same time we can find similarities also. So in this way, in all these activities, what you have to do means you need to find out some differences and also some similarities. So here why we are talking all these things means, so whenever we can find many differences among the living organisms, then we can say that as a diversity. Diversity means many. Okay, so when there are many differences, then we can say there is a diversity. Okay, so that's all for today, and we continue in the next class. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.